It's Hot 1039 93.9. We are the Metro's #1 for hip hop and R&B. That's right. Get ready. It is the great debate. It's time for it.
Woo!
Are you ready for it?
I don't know if I'm ready for this one. This is going to be a good one today.
Oh man. It's been a second since, we getting back on track with great debate. And, relationships is always my favorite to talk about on great debate because it just seems like more people respond to relationship questions.
Yeah, people love talking about relationships.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
All right, so today's great debate question is, I actually saw this on social media, Black City Girl, and she posted, would you date a man with 2 or plus kids? But I want to open it up to, would you date a man or a woman with 2 plus kids?
Wow. Well, it would really just depend on the situation, and it would just depend on their relationship with the baby daddy or, baby, whatever. So.
Or it could have been a husband or a wife.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It just really would depend because you got to take every situation as it comes. Like, you can't just put them all in a box and be like, well, I'm not going to date somebody that got 2 plus kids. It just, for me, it depends on the situation.
I have to say, I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I got a cutoff, though.
Okay, what's the cutoff?
It's like, I'm really on the fence when it's like 3 or more.
So is it, if it's 3 or more with one spouse or
Right.
3 or more and 3 different fathers?
You mean mothers.
Oh, yeah, mothers.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it just, it depends on the person. But, it's just like we've discussed before, where it's like, you're not only getting to know that child, but you got to get to know each individual mother as well. If you're in a serious relationship with somebody, because dating somebody with kids, it's a package deal. So you need to not only love that person, but you definitely have to grow to love that person and love the kids. And so, and of course, not coming in and trying to be a mother. They already got a mother. But,
right.
It's like you might be slightly somewhat of a mother figure. So,
and then plus you got to be able to take on the financial responsibility too, because it might be some financial situations that the guy has going on with the mothers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
real.
a lot.
And it's
a whole
different
lot.
when you're dating it as opposed to when you're married.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a lot to consider, but I want to hear from you. I know everybody has different situations and been through some different things, and I would love, love, love to hear from you. Your situation, maybe you've changed it up a little bit, and it's like, I ain't doing that no more. Or, you know what, Nick, I don't have no problem with it. Mahogany still, I don't have no problem with it. So give us a call, 803-647-1039. Outside the Metro is 877-874-1039. Would you date a man or a woman with 2 plus kids? Give us a call and let us know your thoughts. It is the great debate right here on Hot 1039 93.9.
Ooh, them phone lines blowing
I
up.
know it. Quick.
Them phone lines is blowing up. I can't wait.
Quick. Hot 1039 93.9. Can you hold the line for me, please?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Hot 1039 93.9. Can you hold the line for me, please?
Yes.
Hot 1039 93.9. Can you hold the line for me, please?
Yes.
All right. I know, right?
All right,
All
ready?
right, here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Let me turn my head. Turn these
Turn my
headphones
headphones on.
All right. Hello, Hot 1039 93.9. Can you hold the line for me, please?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Hot 1039 93.9. The great debate. I need to ask you, would you date a man or a woman with 2 plus kids?
Actually, I'm dating a man now that has 4 kids.
Okay.
Is it 4 kids by the same
spouse or?
No, 3 different women.
Okay, so he has 4 kids by 3 different women.
And I get along with each and every one of them.
Okay,
so what is the
good.
secret?
Yeah.
What I did is I got to, when I got with him, I told him if he didn't deal with his kids, he didn't deal with me.
Mm-hmm.
That was,
So,
that was going ground, that was it.
right.
I think what the mothers, they appreciate about me is that I've always included their kids, and I love their kids like they were my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just a down to earth person, and I told them, like, if y'all have something going on or whatever, let me know, or what the deal is, and each of them stated, he was in the past, and whatever happened between them happened. I had nothing to do with that.
Right.
But as far as when it comes down to the kids, I treat their kids like they're mine.
And do you have any children of your own?
Yes, I have 3.
You have 3 too. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Brady
all
Bunch.
all our kids are older.
Okay.
Except for one. There's his youngest is like 8 or 9. My youngest, I have 14-year-old twins, and I have a 22-year-old, and all the other kids are 17 and older.
Okay. Got you. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you just have great communication with all parties involved.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just,
I guess if you're going to get into something like that, you're supposed to, you should.
Absolutely.
Right,
Agreed.
right.
Agreed. So,
You should, but not a lot of women are like that.
yeah, you're right. But there are some just like yourself. So, there's nothing wrong with blended families, and I'm glad you guys are working it out.
Yeah, it's a beautiful situation if everybody can get on the same page.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Yes.
You're welcome.
We appreciate that.
All right.
Mhm.
Bye-bye.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
good.
Okay. Thanks, Stephen.
She said they've been having a lot of people come in talking about it. So
Hey. All right. That's
just
a
put
good
some
thing.
Chipotle sauce in there if you want it to.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
I'll say.
Here we go. Hello, Hot 1039-93.9, The Great Debate. All right, question for today. Would you date a man or a woman with 2+ kids?
Well, I'm going to say this. My name is Dee, and I have 3 kids of my own.
Uh-huh.
And my kids are now 17, 19, and 11. So when they was growing up, it was kind of hard because guys felt like, you want them to take care of your kids, and that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted a relationship. So I feel like it's kind of like hard to say because some guys prefer to date women with kids, and some girls prefer to date guys with kids.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the girl has kids or not. If you want to be with that girl, you should be able to take on that responsibility because at the end of the day, what if the shoe was on the other feet?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree with that. I
To be
agree.
with somebody.
Absolutely.
You can't. That's basically like you discrimination against the woman because she got kids, or because the guy got kids. That's discrimination, and you don't want to feel like that. You want somebody who's going to support you and your kids and what you're going through. Because you got women out here that got kids and been independent all their life, like me. My mama raised me to be independent. So I've never wanted a guy to take care of my kids. I just wanted somebody to be there and be that father figure for them.
Right. You're more so you're looking for companionship. And,
Yeah. It
I
wasn't
got
about
you.
the money situation because I was working there since I was 15 and taking care of my kids. So it was never a point where I wanted to come in and raise my kids and, pay all the bills. No, if we're going to be together and we're going to be in a relationship, we're going to do it 50-50.
Okay. All right. Well, we definitely appreciate you calling and giving us your perspective.
Yes, thank you for that.
You're welcome so much.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh. All right.
Mm-hmm. Some people will debate against that, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next caller. Hello, Hot 1039-93.9, The Great Debate. Oh, they hung up. We took too long.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's okay, though.
Yeah.
That's what The Great Debate is all about.
Well, that's interesting that, she's not putting that type of pressure on any man to just come in and just automatically take care of her kids. Because, a lot of men do fear that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that you got to take in consideration, especially if the father or the fathers are not actively involved or present in a child's life. Then it's just like, you leaning on me to do this. And it's like, okay, well, let me get to know you first. And then if we decide that we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on with a relationship, then I go ahead and establish a relationship with your kid. Well, with your kid or children. So, it's just a tough situation, and everybody has their own personal thoughts and opinions and experiences when it comes to something like this. It's just a personal preference. The lady that called in and she was saying that, it's almost like discrimination. I don't really kind of look at it like that. I think it's just your personal preference and what matches your lifestyle,
I personally can't front on that type of situation because I myself am a product of a Brady Bunch situation. Like my mother already had 3 kids, and then my father had 3 kids before they came together and got married and had me. So I personally can't be like, oh, well, you shouldn't date anybody that doesn't have any kids, because I wouldn't be here if that was the case. If that was the case, I would not be here because I am the youngest, and I wouldn't even be here. But again, I think it's a personal preference, and I agree. I don't think it's discrimination, because you have some people that just don't want to deal with other people's kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just something that they choose not to deal with.
Absolutely. You know, in me and Mahogany Steel, we've had several talks about this, and you know, you got to understand too, with just getting to know the children, you got to get to know their mother or their father, depending on, you know, what your situation is. And so it's not just getting to know the kids, but you got to also get to know, you know, the mother or mothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
yeah.
you know, that's a whole nother dynamic. And you know, if everybody's adult about the situation and communication is there, just like, you know, the one woman that called in earlier said, you know, she didn't have a problem and they all get along, then that's a wonderful thing, and that's what you hope and you strive for. But you know, sometimes it's difficult, because I've been there. I've been there where, you know, I was the guy that I was dating. He only had 1 child, but you know, the mother she just didn't want to let go, and it became difficult. And I just said to myself, like, I like you a lot, but I just, you know, my peace and my sanity, I cannot deal. So I had to go ahead and cut that off.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, in my dating experience, with some of the guys that I've dated, I've had kids. I mean, it's been, you know, a pretty decent situation as far as with their, you know, with their mothers of their kids. So I can't really say that has been a problem for me thus far. But I also understand, you know, the older you get, I mean, the chances you really meeting somebody that doesn't have at least 1 child, I mean, it becomes kind of slim to none anyway. So, you know, you got to kind of ask yourself, are you willing to be a stepmom or a stepfather, you know, depending on whoever's in the situation. But, you know, I mean, I still just think that everybody should just be honest and upfront from the door before they even take a relationship even further. Like, if you don't want to deal with somebody else's kids, or, you know, I mean, you just have to be honest, and I believe in that communication.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Hello, Hot 1039-939.
Great debate. I need to ask you, would you date a man or a woman with 2+ kids?
Actually, I'm dating a man now that has 4 kids.
Okay, is it 4 kids by the same spouse or no?
3 different women.
Okay, so he has 4 kids by 3 different women.
And I get along with each and every one of them.
Okay, so everything's
what
going
is the
good.
secret?
Yeah.
What I did is I got to, when I got with him, I took him, if he didn't deal with his kids, he didn't deal with me.
Mm-hmm.
That was,
So,
that was the going ground that was there.
right.
I think with the mothers, they appreciate about me is that I've always been true to their kids, and I love their kids like they were my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just a down to earth person, and I told them, like, if y'all have something going on or whatever, you know, let me know, or you know what the deal is, and you know, each of them said that, you know, he was in the past, and you know, whatever happened between them happened, I had nothing to do with that.
Right.
But as far as when it comes down to the kids, I treat their kids like they're mine.
And do you have any children of your own?
Yes, I have 3.
You have 3 too. Okay.
Wow.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah. All our kids are older.
Okay.
Like, well, except for one. There's his youngest is like 8 or 9. My youngest, I have 14-year-old twins, and I have a 22-year-old. And all the other kids are 17 and old.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you just have great communication with all parties involved.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, you know.
If you're going to get into something like that, you're supposed to, you should.
Absolutely.
Right.
Agreed. So,
You should, but not a lot of women are like that.
yeah, you're right. But there are some just like yourself. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with blended families, and I'm glad you guys are working it out.
Yeah, it's a mutual situation, and everybody can get on the same page.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Yes. I appreciate that.
All right. Bye-bye.
What you need? It's sneaked on the deck on Hot 1039.
Well. Yes, our listeners, make sure you hit us up. You know, you can make your comments on the website. You know, we can keep the dialogue going. Would you date someone that has 2 or more kids? Let us know. You know, I love to hear from people. I love to hear other opinions.
Well, it's like I said, I can't disagree with that because I am a product of that, and I wouldn't even be here if my mom or my father felt that type of way that they wasn't going to date anybody with kids.
Hello, Hot 1039-939, The Great Debate. Tell me, would you date someone with 2+ kids? Hello?
Hello?
Okay. I guess they're not
No
there.
one wants to talk.
They wasn't calling in for that. They were calling in for something else. But
Giving
it's
away
okay.
tickets.
I know, right? Something. So anyway, yes, it's just an interesting topic to me. Relationship questions are always interesting topics to me.
I mean, it's very relatable.
Absolutely. So, because that is the day and age that we are in now. A lot of people do not wait to get married and have a child or children. You know, not judging anybody, anything like that. Yeah, but it is what it is.
Again, communication is key, no matter what your situation is. Whether you decide to be in a relationship, have the child, then get married, or live together, then have the child, then get married, or whatever your case may be. All I'm saying is communication is key. All parties need to be involved if they're available to be involved. Because a lot of people, like I know a situation right now where one of my homegirls is going through it with her current boyfriend's baby mama. Like, she is basically saying, like, look, you can't watch my child at all, like, without the presence of the father being there. So, like, if the father's at work or something like that, the child has to literally go to the neighbors.
How long have they been together?
My friend and her boyfriend, I mean, it's been about maybe 2 years, 3 years. So,
oh no,
I understand what the mother is saying, but I just wish that the mother.
They've been together too long. It'd be different if it was just 6 months. They've been together for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's been at least
now
2.
She's being unreasonable. You know.
I mean, I think it's a situation where because they haven't formally met.
Oh.
Right.
What's going on with that?
I don't know.
Now the boyfriend, shame on him.
Well, I don't know if it's his fault. I think it might be the mother not wanting to meet. So.
Honey, I need you to accept it. You know, y'all relationship is over.
And that's the crazy part, because she's allegedly moved on. Like, she has somebody else.
What is that? No.
I think
that
it's just
sounds
somebody,
like some control.
It's just somebody being petty. For real.
Absolutely.
And I just think it's unfortunate that... Because my whole thing is, what happens if the neighbor's not available? And, you know, then what? What does the child do then?
All right.
So, I don't know.
She's tripping.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation.
She is really, 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 really tripping.
Damn.
Seriously.
I don't know, girl. So, I mean, they dealing with it the best way that they can. You know. I mean, in one aspect, I understand, you know, the mother doesn't want their child just to be around just anybody, especially somebody that they don't know. Nobody's disputing that at all. But I feel like if you know that your ex-husband has moved on, then you should make it a point to meet their significant other, especially if it's serious.
And I mean, it's been, you're saying anywhere between 2 to 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. You know, she's being very, very unreasonable. And that doesn't make any sense at all. Like you said, you understand the safety of the child, you know, wholeheartedly. You know, everybody should take that into account. But it's like, come on, she's not going to do anything to harm that child. You know, and he should be a pretty good judge of character that they've been going out that long that, you know, he's not going to take and bring his son or his daughter around just anybody.
Yeah, because she herself has a child.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she definitely wouldn't, you know, she wouldn't bring any harm to the child because she herself has a child herself. So,
Right.
you know, it's just crazy.
And that is absolutely insane. But, you know, you just try to deal with it the best way you can. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But great debate. We like it. We love it.
You don't turn it into a swirl in the snake.
You know, I like to have a little fun.
I don't understand how that topic turned into a whole snake roll, but all right.
Me neither. I don't know either, you know. But please make sure that you comment. Let us know what are your thoughts. You know, have you been in this situation similar? And how did it go? Did it, you know, maybe you guys are still continuing to go strong and the kids are growing up happy, healthy, and, you know, even though there's splitting time between two different households, you can still make it work. Like Mahogany Steel said and the caller said, communication is so very vital. It is among all parties. And then I guess another topic of discussion would be like, what happens if the child don't like you?
Ooh,
What do you do?
that's gonna be a nice part two.
That's a
A nice part two right there.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Hello, Hot 103.9, The Great Debate. All right, question for today. Would you date a man or a woman with 2+ kids?
Well, I want to say this. My name is Dee, and I have 3 kids of my own. And my kids are now 17, 19, and 11. So when they was growing up, it was kind of hard because guys felt like, oh, you want them to take care of your kids, and that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted a relationship. So I feel like it's kind of like hard to say because some guys prefer to date women with kids, and some girls prefer to date guys with kids. I just feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the girl has kids or not. If you want to be with that girl, you should be able to take on that responsibility because at the end of the day, what if the shoe was on the other feet?
I agree. I agree with that. I
To be
agree.
with somebody.
Absolutely.
And that's basically like you discrimination against the woman because she got kids or because the guy got kids. That's discrimination. And you don't want to feel like that. You want somebody to support you and your kids and what you going to do. Because you got women out here that got kids and been independent all their life, like me. My mama raised me to be independent. So I've never wanted a guy to take care of my kids. I just wanted somebody to be there and be that father figure for them.
Right. You more so you're looking for companionship. And,
It
I
wasn't
got
about
you.
the money situation because I was working there since I was 15 and taking care of my kids. So it was never a point where I want to come in and raise my kids and, you know, pay off bills. No, if we're going to be together, if we're going to be in a relationship, we're going to do it 50-50.
Okay. All right. Well, we definitely appreciate you calling and giving us your perspective. Yes. Thank you for that.
You welcome so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
I hit the post on that one. I'm slipping. But anyway, I'm almost getting ready to bring it to a close. But, you know, just, was the music too loud? Sorry, my bad. So, but, let's see. We got another call here. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Hello, Hot 103.9 The Great Debate. The question is, would you date someone that has 2 or more kids?
Okay. My question is yes, because, I mean, I'm about now 25. And our generation now got about 2 or more kids are not married.
Right.
So,
Yes.
how will you ever move forward with your life and want to get married to somebody if you trying to hold the kids back in the situation?
And that's understood. Things happen in relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but okay, well, I definitely appreciate you checking in with us.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. I'm not quite sure what to say on that call.
I was trying to understand. I couldn't.
I think she misunderstood our question because it was just like almost like, you know, like I got 2 kids and yeah, like of course. Like,
I mean, nobody was saying not to date
right.
someone that has kids. I think she might have misconstrued what
I think
the what the question was, because nobody's saying you can't date somebody with kids. It's just with somebody that, and then it's weird because you might have a situation where somebody that actually has kids and they don't want to date anybody that has kids.
Well, the crazy thing is, I know one time I was talking to this guy and we were in the conversation of, okay, so he already has kids. I don't have any kids. He really doesn't want to have any more kids, but I want at least one. And so it was a situation of, okay, well, would you date a woman that already has kids? And, you know, he was like, well, you know, my stepfather actually, he's not my biological father, but he's my father. He raised me, and he married my mother, and, you know, it was me and my brother already involved, and they had another child. And so I said, okay, so that means you would go ahead and date a woman that has a child or have children. And I said, well, what is your cutoff? And he was like, well, my cutoff is 2. I said, okay, so like your stepdad, but you have 3 kids by 3 different women. So why would the cutoff be 2 for you for a woman, but you got 3?
What'd he say?
And then he was like, well, that's just my preference. So I'm like, you want the woman to accept that you got 3 kids by 3 different women, but you wouldn't accept a woman in the same situation or circumstance as you. That doesn't make sense to me. But hey, everybody has their own personal preference.
I mean, now that is kind of like discrimination, but
Yeah,
I mean, it
yes.
is, but it is your own preference.
It is.
I mean, if you don't, if that's what you want, then that's what you want. But that's an interesting, that would be an interesting dynamic though.
Yeah, to say the least.
Wow.
To say the least. You know, it's all kind of different scenarios that's out there and stuff like that, you know? So, yeah, it's just everyday life. And we love it.
Wow.
Okay. My question is just,
We'll do that. Over here editing the phone call so we can play it back on the air live. As even though you might have heard it, everybody else hasn't heard it that's listening to us. Commercial radio.
Yeah, we gotta make sure they're saying all the right stuff. No cursing.
Oh no. Oh no. Gotta keep it PG-13. Let's see, I got 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 30 seconds before we go up. I'll keep the dialogue going. Mahogany Steel, do you have a cutoff?
Like I said, it just really would depend on the situation. I mean, I think once we start talking about like 4 kids and then it's like by 4 different women and stuff like that, like then it starts to get that's a little bit much. But if the situation is something that can be, or if something that's basically under control, if you will, and everybody has great communication with each other and they don't have a problem with me and I can come in and not have a problem with them as well as their kids. Like I said, it just would really, really have to depend. And I hope that the financial situation would be taken care of too, because I don't want to have to come in and then my finances get tied up with your finances because you don't have all the situations together with all of your kids, especially if I'm coming into the situation and I don't have any kids. So now if we get married, then yes, of course, I'm obligated to have to come in and help and stuff like that. But again, it would just really have to depend on the entire situation. But yeah, I mean, 1, 2, okay, no problem. But when you start kind of getting to the 3 and the 4, you know, like I said, it just would have to depend. Hopefully the situation would be good. And I would be able to handle it because that's asking me to have a relationship with 8 people, including, you know, the boyfriend. So that's a lot of people that I would have to get along with. So,
Well, I'll tell you what. I definitely got to cut off. There was a guy one time trying to talk to me, and he had 5 kids by 4 different women. And I was like, nope, I'm not even going to try it. Because in a situation like that, and the kids ranged anywhere from 2 years old to, I think it was 16. So you know, in that time span, first of all, you've been having kids almost all your life. Almost your entire adult life. And any of those kids at any point in time are always going to need something. always. Not that I'm not a giver and I don't mind giving, but it's just, you know, like Mahogany still said, you got to take all that in consideration if you're trying to take it to the next level as far as your relationship is concerned with somebody. So it's something to definitely think about.
39, the great debate. The question is, would you date someone that has 2 or more kids?
Okay, my question is yes, because I mean, I'm now 25, and our generation now got about 2 or more kids and not married.
Right.
So,
Yes.
how would you ever be move forward with your life and want to get married to somebody if you trying to hold the kids back in situation? If you're gonna be together, y'all gonna be one.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, I mean, everybody has their own personal preference.
I mean, that's just mine. I mean, me,
Right.
just for my situation, because I have 2 kids and I'm not married.
Okay.
But I do want to get married.
You can get married.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that other person has to accept me and my kids as one.
Absolutely. You guys, it is a package deal, and some people are gonna accept it, and they're gonna go ahead and and step up to the plate and not necessarily try to be your children's father because their father. Absolutely, as a father figure, absolutely.
Yeah, but my kids, they have their dad in their life, but that don't have nothing to do with me personally.
Right, and that's understood. Things happen in relationships. Yeah.
Right.
So, but okay, well, I definitely appreciate you checking in with us.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
No doubt. Great debate. Getting ready to bring it to a close. We do it every week. Every Thursday it goes down here. I think we need to have a part 2. What you think, Mahogany?
We do need to have a part 2 because we also didn't discuss the fact that what if you do find somebody that has kids and they don't want to have any more kids or and you want to have kids, then what about that?
Yeah, what about that?
So
That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother discussion.
that's wow.
There's so many parts to this. We could go on and on and on. You know? But yeah, we'll come up with a part 2. We'll come up with a part 2. I think the next time, next discussion I want to have is about fathers.
Okay.
So we'll figure out exactly how we're gonna craft that that question about fathers.
Definitely want to have some fathers on the panel. At least
Yes.
call in or be in here live in the studio.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it as I'm talking right now. My cousin actually posted something on Facebook about trying to repair a relationship with a couple of his kids because he was absent for a while. So we'll figure it out though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, make sure you keep it locked and loaded. BZ Baby's going to be coming up next. And it's definitely been a pleasure. Myself, I'm Get to Know Neek. So follow me on IG and Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat.
Same with Mahogany Steel. Mahogany Steel all across the board.
All right. So that's what it is. Keep it locked. BZ's coming up next right here on Hot 103.9.
93.9.
Hot 103.9, 93.9.
Too much sauce. All right, y'all. Till next time.
Indeed. Great debate. We love it here in the Hot 103.9, 93.9 studios. And thank you so much for watching and commenting. And, and make sure you definitely keep up with us and we'll keep up with you.
Right.
Peace out.